Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In continuation to our previous discussions on linear transformation, determinant and many other things regarding vectors and matrices, today we are going to talk about inverse of a matrix. So in this tutorial what we are going to discuss is we will first see the geometrical interpretation of inverse of a matrix. We will also talk about some methods which are used to compute inverse of the matrix, but we will not be showing you the mathematics how to do that. There are many resources to learn that in the standard textbooks, and usually for practical purposes we use softwares to compute inverse of the matrix. So I will just tell you the name of those methods. If you are really interested to understand those methods, you can Google using those method names to see how we can compute inverse of a matrix manually. We will also see some properties of inverse of a matrix and how it is related to zero determinant or non-zero determinant. So its relation to zero determinant or non-zero determinant matrices. So we will talk about all these things in the current tutorial. Let's first of all talk about geometry. So the inverse of a matrix correspond to the inverse transformation of the original matrix. What does it mean? We have talked about whenever we have a matrix, to look at the geometrical meaning of this matrix, we'll look at the associated linear transformation. Those who are not sure what is linear transformation, you might need to watch my tutorials on linear transformation. So linear transformation means if I multiply this matrix with some vector x and I get another vector v. So it basically transforms the space into a new space where the I hat and j hat may lend to some other vectors in the new space, and accordingly all the vectors may lend to some new vectors in the new space. So to understand linear transformation, you might need to revisit the tutorial which we have discussed earlier. So inverse of a matrix means if for this matrix A, I am interested to find what is the inverse of this matrix, first of all we denote it by this notation A inverse raised power minus 1, which is inverse. So basically it is again a new matrix. So this is also a matrix. So definitely this will also correspond to some other linear transformation, right? And this linear transformation would be same as the inverse transformation of this matrix. What does it mean is basically this linear transformation transform our space into new space. So this linear transformation would undo the effect of this transformation. I hope you are getting that, the effect of undoing what we have done, right? So basically we are going back to the original space. We will look at some animation to make it more clear, but the concept is we have applied one transformation by using this matrix A. If we want to undo the effect or if we want to go back to the original space, we can use this linear transformation. So we will see simulation where it would become really clear in a short while, but mathematically what I want to say is if on this AX I just apply one more linear transformation which is A inverse. So this is some new matrix. A inverse is obviously a matrix, and the transformation associated this matrix, if I want to see what is the effect, it would be mathematically same as applying this matrix on vector V. So basically if you know little bit of matrix algebra, mathematics, what we do, this would be A inverse A applying on X. And you might be already knowing this thing. If you are not sure, mathematically you study it in your elementary textbooks that A inverse of A is the matrix I. I is the identity matrix. Identity matrix means when you apply any matrix with the identity matrix, you get the same matrix. So this kind of math you see in your textbook. So it becomes X is equal to A inverse of V. Don't worry if it seems something alien to you. We will be talking about these things, looking at the animations, but those who have done some linear algebra before, you might be already knowing this equation, right? So to get back X from this vector V, we can use this A inverse here. I hope it is visible, the color I need to, X is equal to A inverse of V, right? So we will see how that happens, how is it possible that we get back the original space. We can also say that the matrix corresponding to the transformation that reverse or that undo the effect of original transformation, right? So we will see that in a short while. Let me see what comes next. There are some points to note when we talk about inverse of a matrix. First thing is inverse of a matrix is always unique. For any matrix A, if you compute A inverse by using any method, we will talk about some methods in the next slide. So any method you use and you compute A inverse, it is always going to be unique. No matter what method you are using, what software you are using, inverse, if it exists, it is going to be unique. It is not always possible that all matrices have inverse. Some of the matrices are non-invertible. We will talk about that also. But if the matrix is invertible, its inverse is going to be unique, right? It's always the same. Second, inverse of a matrix exists if and only if the determinant is non-zero. Those who are from math might be knowing the meaning of if and only if, or sometimes we write IFF. It means that this condition is true only if this condition is true and vice versa, right? So we write if and only if. So inverse of a matrix exists only if its determinant is non-zero. This is one condition, and the other condition is if determinant is non-zero, then inverse exists. So both are true, right? That is why we are using if and only if, right? So basically, if we want to check if the matrix is invertible, means if a particular matrix has inverse, then we can compute the determinant and we can see if the determinant is non-zero, then inverse exists. If determinant is zero, it means the matrix is non-invertible, means the inverse is not possible, right? There are pseudo inverse and some methods. We are not talking about in depth all those topics. As of now, we are just focusing to understand inverse and the condition for invertible matrix. We can also say that zero matrix has no inverse. Obviously, zero matrix, you might be knowing some special matrices, zero matrix, unit matrix, identity matrix, and so on. If you are not sure, you might want to watch a tutorial on that. So zero matrix means a matrix for which all the entries are zero. So if it is a 2 by 2 zero matrix, it is like that. If it is a 3 by 3 zero matrix, it is like that. So all the entries to be zero. So for a zero matrix, definitely the determinant is 0 because all the elements are 0, and determinant is 0, it means it is non-invertible, and it means calculating inverse for this matrix is not possible. Now, what are the methods to compute inverse of a matrix? So this method, the first method which you study in your textbook, is using adjugate matrix. And there is some formula 1 upon determinant A into adjugate A, and how to compute adjugant. For that you need to use minors and so on. So we are not talking about cofactor, minor, adjugate, all those formulas in this particular tutorial. If you are really interested to know this from me, you can write it in the comment box. There are so many resources available and even the textbooks cover this thing. Second method is using row operations. So you use certain row operations, or we call it Gauss-Jordan elimination method, where you try to reduce it to a particular format to convert it to get the inverse of that matrix. And similarly, the elementary matrix approach, these two approaches are very similar to each other, and these involve some row operations and column operations sometimes. And finally, the best approach which we all are going to use is using software. There are so many tools which helps you to compute inverse of a matrix. Even there are many online calculators too. So even if you don't want to use softwares, you can use online calculators to compute inverse of a matrix. So I'll show you some of the online calculators, applets, softwares, and some of the best resources to understand linear algebra, maybe in a separate tutorial. Now, some of the properties of invertible matrix. So if A is an invertible matrix, it is n by n matrix and it is invertible, right? Then we have this thing which we have studied in the previous tutorial as well. The determinant of A inverse would be 1 by determinant of A. So you can prove these properties by taking any matrix and using some calculator or tool, or you can do it manually also. But these are some properties which you can keep in mind when working with matrices. Second thing, if A and B are two invertible matrices of the dimensions n by n, invertible means inverse exists for both the matrices, then inverse of matrix A is equal to the same matrix. So what does it mean is inverse of matrix A is something A inverse and if you take the inverse again, you are back to the matrix A, because inverse of a matrix A is the associated linear transformation, which is the inverse of the original transformation. And if you take the inverse again, so basically you are undoing the effect of inverse of A. So again, undo and redo, you are back to the original thing, so it is the same matrix. Conceptually we can understand, but to prove these things you need to do manual computation, or you can use some tools to verify the results. So I would suggest, if you are studying it for the first time and you are finding it heavy to digest and to agree upon the facts which I am just showing you without any proof, prove it yourself. If you are from math, take mathematical way to prove it. If you are not from math, take some tool or applet or online calculator, take some matrix and play around with the entries and see whether these property holds good for all the random matrices which you are taking. Now, A and B, the product A and B is invertible. So it means if A is an invertible matrix, B is an invertible matrix, then its product is also invertible matrix. Because if A is invertible, it means determinant of A is non-zero. If B is invertible, it means determinant of B is non-zero. So we know that determinant of AB is equal to determinant of A into determinant of B. This we have studied in the last tutorial. So this is also non-zero, and this is non-zero. It means the matrix AB is also invertible, right? So this thing is proved, and its inverse is given by this formula, and you need to notice the order. Inverse of product of AB is the product of their inverses, but in reverse order. So B inverse, A inverse. Because you might be remembering that matrix multiplication is not commutative. So product of AB is not equal to product of BA, or we can say product of A inverse B inverse is not equal to product of B inverse A inverse. So you need to make sure that you use the right order when you are using this particular property, right? So if you forget these properties, you can simply Google and you can find these properties. If you want to verify these properties, you can use some tool to verify these properties. But here we will be focusing more on geometrical interpretation of inverse of a matrix. Let me take you to that. And inverse of a matrix is really useful when you talk about solving system of linear equation. So here I would like to show you one very interesting interactive ebook by Dan and Joseph. I will share these resources with you. So in this book you have, this is the index. There are just a few topics, selected topics from linear algebra, not all the topics, but the book is interactive. You see here are the definitions, what all things they have covered in this particular chapter, and you see some of the math here and there, and these are the properties. But what I would like to show you is the animation. Yeah, this was the formula for computing inverse of a matrix using the adjugate method for a 2 by 2 matrix. For 2 by 2 it is comparatively simple, but when you do it for 3 by 3 and 4 by 4 or n by n, it becomes complicated. So this is another method, the Gauss-Jordan method. We are not talking about this thing, but let me show you the animation. First of all, let's look at the example of dilation. So if you might want to read what they have written later on to understand it better, but what I want to show you is, this is the original image. Suppose you apply a linear transformation to this image, and after the linear transformation you get this image. But you want to go back to the original image, so you apply another transformation and you are back to the original image. So this transformation T is the inverse of the transformation U, right? And similarly, the corresponding matrices are inverse of each other. So you can see here, the transformation Ux corresponding to this matrix 0.67 and 0, 0. This is where I hat lands, and 0 and 0.67, this is where J hat lands. So we have seen earlier in detail the linear transformation and the meaning of these particular column, and this is a vector. Suppose we are talking about the vector 1, 2, and where it lands after applying the particular linear transformation. And the matrix corresponding to this linear transformation T is this matrix. So suppose we are applying this matrix now on the transformed vector, means U of x here, which is this value, we are getting 1 and 2, which is the coordinate which we were having earlier too, right? So basically, you can see here in this graph as well that This is your original vector x, and after applying the linear transformation you are getting ux. If you apply one more linear transformation t on that, you are getting t of ux, which is again the same as x. One more concept you can verify here is TOU. If you remember, this notation is composition of transformations. So composition of linear transformation is simply equal to the matrix multiplication, right? So this is one example which we have seen. But if you are not sure that we are getting these things, you can verify these results by using some matrix calculator. Let me show you here. The matrix is 0.67, 0, 0 and 0.67. And I want to see what is its inverse, and I want to verify that this is the inverse. So let me show you. Here is our matrix calculator. I'll show you different other calculators as well. So in this particular calculator, you can do all these things, right? As of now, I'm interested in computing inverse of the matrix for a 2 by 2 matrix. I can change the dimensions from here. I want to set a matrix. So my entries are 0.67 and 0.67 diagonal matrix. So let me fill the entries. This is 0. This is 0 again, and this is 0.67. Now, I don't need a detailed solution. I just want to calculate the inverse of a matrix. So, you see, I am getting 1.49 something something, 1.49 something. So, approximately 1.5 if I just squeeze the result to 2 decimal place, 1.5. 1.5, 1.5 and 0, 0 here. So, this is nothing but inverse of the matrix U, right? So inverse of the matrix mathematically we have computed, we are getting this thing, and we have verified it with using linear transformation that this matrix has the effect of undoing whatever the linear transformation corresponding to ux has done to the space, right? And definitely you can also verify this composition matrix if you want to see matrix multiplication. So here we have matrix multiplication. I want to give the dimensions of all the matrices. Both the matrices are of dimension 2 by 2. So we need to set it 2 by 2. And this is automatically filled because of the conditions of touching dimensions. Now the elements are 0. What was that? 65? Let me see. 67. 67 here and 0.67 here. Fill empty cells with 0. Here we have 1.5 corresponding to T and 1.5. Fill empty cells with 0. And I just want to compute A into B. Let's see what happens. We get, because we have not written all the decimal points, so we are getting 1.005, but if we keep the decimals exact as given in the computation, we will get 1001. That is the identity matrix which we are getting here, right? So we have verified two things here, that composition of a matrix corresponds to matrix multiplication and inverse of a matrix corresponds to inverse transformation. Let's look at another example of rotation. Now, I am not verifying the math. You can verify this math by using the calculator which we have discussed just now. Here, this is the original image, right? And after applying the linear transformation, suppose the image is rotated anti-clockwise with the angle of 45 degree, right? Now, if I want to rotate the image clockwise with the same angle 45 degree, it means if I want to come back to the original position, then I need another linear transformation, and we have verified here that this linear transformation U corresponds to inverse of the linear transformation T, right? If you are finding these things little confusing, I would say take your time, play around with this interactive book and the calculator and verify yourself. I just want not to increase the duration of that video tutorial, but the properties which we have verified is that matrix associated with linear transformation U is the inverse of matrix associated with linear transformation T. property. That is one property which you can verify by looking at these two matrices and computing inverse of this matrix, you will be getting this matrix, right? Second property which we can verify is matrix multiplication of these matrices. Suppose I give them name A and A inverse, because these are inverse of each other, right? This leads to identity matrix. So we are seeing this leads to identity matrix. And if we talk about the corresponding geometrical meaning, so we can say that corresponding matrix multiplication means composition of linear transformation. This represent identity matrix, right? So we have verified all these things by using just one simple example, where we can see the images as well, we can see the computation, and we can see how the coordinates changes in the 2D space. These things can be proved for 3D also. It is easy to visualize in 2D space. So in this book you have many other examples like a reflection. You see the kid, reflection image, and if we take one more reflection in the reverse order, we get to the original image, and this is the corresponding calculation. In image processing, we do these kind of things. You might be knowing, if you have done convolution neural network, there we try to find out filters, or there we try to do the rotation and all those things, and we try to see what are the matrices corresponding to that. So this calculation will help you understand those things there. One non-example projection. Non-example means we have seen that some matrices are not invertible, and if not invertible, it means there is no way we can go back to the original space. And why it is possible that we can't go back to the original space? Let me show you one thing. We had talked about in the previous tutorial, if you remember, there was an example where we were working with a square and we were using some linear transformation associated with some matrix A, and we were looking at where it lands in the new space. So sometimes it was landing at this figure, sometimes it might be landing at this figure, or whatever. So depending upon the matrix A and the associated linear transformation, we were getting different 2 dimensions figure. But we have seen one example where determinant of the matrix was 0, we were landing onto just one line, or maybe just a point. So if you remember this example which we have discussed in the previous tutorial, so if we were using a matrix where determinant is 0, we were reaching just on this line, right? And we have seen another example where determinant is 0 and we were just landing on to one point. So in these cases, when determinant is 0, it is not possible that we find the linear transformation which gives us all these points corresponding to this point. So what we want to say is this corresponding to one single point here, the point 0. What is the linear transformation which gives us all possible points in the 2D space? It is not possible to go back to that space, right? And in this example also, corresponding to these points on the line, if I want to get all these points, there is no such transformation existing which can give us back those coordinates, right? Because what we are asking it, corresponding to a particular point, we want to find a bunch of vectors which lands into this particular point. So it is not feasible to find this geometrically also, right? In that case, we say that determinant does not exist. So in this previous tutorial also, we have discussed that determinant is 0. When determinant is 0, we lands to the lower dimension, and the calculating the inverse is not feasible. So mathematically we can prove it is not feasible, because in the formula determinant 0 comes in the denominator, and when denominator is 0, it is not possible to compute that quantity. But geometrically also we can understand that it is not possible to find the inverse of a matrix when the determinant is 0. So let me take you to this book again. This was my previous tutorial. So here is this example in which they have taken this matrix. So for this matrix A, you can see that determinant is 0. If this is matrix A, determinant is 0. If you compute the determinant is 0 because most of the entries are 0. You can compute it, right? So because the determinant is 0, mathematically finding the inverse is not possible, because the formula includes 1 upon determinant A into something something. So this is 0, so we will get 0 division error. It is not possible, right? And geometrically we can also see, if you look at the corresponding linear transformation here in this picture. So this is the picture, and you can even rotate this to look at different views of this picture, like this, or maybe if whatever way you feel it is easy to read, right? This is the linear transformation, right? So basically you want to see all the points on each vertical line are sent to the same point by this linear transformation. So there is no way you can undo and you can go back to this transformation. So this is an example where matrix is not invertible. So take your time, try to understand. There are few more things here you might want to understand in this book. I will share the link of this book as well as this calculator with you. And there are few applets which can help you to compute matrix inverse if you want to compute, or if you want to see the steps involved in computation of matrix inverse. So this is one such applet which will do the matrix inverse by using row operations. This is the matrix. I think you can change the entries of the matrix. You can select the dimensions. So this applet supports up to 4 dimensions. This is a 2-dimension matrix, 3-dimension and 4-dimension. And for row operation, you write the matrix entries here, vertical line, and you write the identity matrix, and you do certain operations to get the inverse of this matrix. So you see the first step is this. Second step, I'm not explaining all the steps, why these particular steps are used, and you might even use some different steps. So all these steps are shown here, and finally you are getting identity matrix in the left hand side, and these entries represent A inverse. So I'm not explaining the methods, but if you already know, if you want to verify, if you want to practice, or if you want to understand, you can use these applets to see the calculation. But I would prefer, if you really want to compute it manually, take paper and pen, do it yourself. Here is another applet for inverse of a matrix, 3-dimension or 4-dimension, that you can choose. So suppose I am taking 3-dimension. First of all, you will compute the determinant of this matrix. This is -3. You can compute adjoint matrix. This is the adjoint matrix. You can compute adjoint transposed. It is already there. Then you can compute the inverse of the matrix by using the formula. So it is here. I'm not discussing the formula, but I just wanted to show you that if you are doing it manually and if you want to verify, you can use these applets. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.